Hey guys, what's up? It's iFlynn here, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how you can get Warframe's latest Warframe, the Spider Warframe, Oraxia. Now, first things first, go to your codex, go to main quests, and you want to make sure that you have the Deviri Paradox completed because we need access to here to be able to do the game mode where Araxia's parts actually drop. Then you want to come to your navigation. Go to the little face symbol that is in the top right hand corner. If you have Steel Path unlocked, I recommend doing this on the normal mode because there are enemies in this game mode that have damage attenuation. And essentially what that means is the more damage you deal, the less damage you deal. I know that sounds totally backwards, but yeah, we put it on the normal mode to basically make it feel a lot less tedious. Then you come to this top left-hand corner and you want to go ahead and press Isleweaver. Now, this is going to load us into basically Teshin's Cave. And in Teshin's Cave, there's going to be a selection of different warframes and weapons. Now, you might have less of a selection than I have. The way that you get more options in this cave is by going to this little fire here and then spending intrinsics, right? So you're going to earn these intrinsics as you play this game mode or the circuit. So first things first, you want to go ahead and choose your warframe. I'm going to be playing a lot of Trinity today, so I'm going to select her. Then once you select your warframe, all of the weapons that you can choose from is going to spawn in as well. So I'm just going to go ahead, pick my Bratton Prime. I might as well take the Jewel Carries unless there's something better. Not really. Then it's a choice between the Arca Cisco or the Axani. I'll pick the Arca Cisco. If you've upgraded your intrinsics, you can go ahead and pick a decree. Now, this is like a Risk of Rain style mechanic where it's basically just a random buff and you can pick whatever you want. And also make sure to come over here and get some of these Deviri resources, as well as I believe you're going to need some Deviri resources to actually craft Araxia. Now we just go ahead, we go through the portal. And this is just the Deviri if you've played it before, but instead we are doing it with our Warframe. If you press Q, then you can summon in your horse and you can fly around on it. And all we're doing is basically new objectives, right? So this is a new game mode / objective where we spawn in as an oil. Now you just want to look around until you find these little eyes, and the oil is going to mark those. And once you find 4 of them, at least that's the amount that I have to find, that's basically it. So this farm is incredibly quick. That is 1 stage out of 6 completed. So go ahead, press Q again. You can choose another intrinsic. Now I'm able to reroll mines because I've got, not intrinsic, sorry, decree. Because I have bonus intrinsics, I'm able to reroll my decrees here. So not vibing with any of those. Not really. Sure, let's go with Close Contagion. Why not? They're not really going to matter too much because this is going to be done rather quickly. You'll see that some of the enemies from the Sanctum spawn in as well. So the, I forget what their name is, but it doesn't matter. They're from the Sanctum and they spawn in here now because reasons. We move on to this next chest. We got to open up the chest and it's going to spawn in an enemy. We just go ahead and shoot at it. Should be pretty easy if you're doing it on the normal mode like so. That's basically that objective done. Pick another decree. So let's go for it. Critical damage is doubled. That's a big one. Go back onto our horse and we're looking around for the next objective. Still waiting. Still waiting. There it is. Enter the Undercroft. So this is just going to be a normal Warframe game mode in here that we got to do. So it's alchemy. So I'm just going to go ahead play this as normal. So I just have to kill a bunch of enemies until they drop the elements that I need. And you can hear this cool music in the background. This is from 1999 because the whole thing is that the bad guy from 1999 has entered into the Deviri and we're helping the little guy from the Deviri, the bad guy, Dominus Frax, because he's angry. We're helping him get her out. So once you kill enough enemies and they start dropping these elements, if you get alchemy, you can go into your operator. You can pick up 2 of them at a time. So go into your operator for 1, and then the one that you picked up as your warframe, like you can throw that as well, just to sort of move things along a little bit faster. You know what I mean? Especially if you're killing enemies that are like super far away. So I'm just going to go ahead, get this done, do a little cut. So this is my last little elemental thing. I just go ahead, throw it. That is my alchemy done. Now it's gonna kick me out of the Undercroft anytime now. That's it. Kicked out. We're back into the Viri. We can go ahead and pick another little decree here. I'm just gonna go for the one that gives me extra magazine because why not? Bigger magazine in my Bratton. 150 bullets. Wowee. So now we gotta guide my reflection into the light. So this is a pretty straightforward one. There's new resources here, by the way. So if you run around and you look for chests that you can break in this area, you're dropping a new resource. Pretty sure you're gonna need that for Oraxia. So there's a few breakable things there that didn't give us any resources. Just run around and break stuff. See that temporal dust right there? I believe you're gonna need some of that. Here's a chest. That's just more stuff from the Sanctum again. You know, just run around and break some chests. So now I'm inspecting this mirror. A bunch of enemies spawn in. We just go ahead and deal with them. Now that they're all dead. No, they're not. That whistle, man. Now we're all done. We just got our little guy into the light and then into the actual mirror itself. Gives us a chest, and that gives us a decree. So let's go ahead and read. Sure, more bonus damage after a reload. Why not? Now what's going to happen is it's going to ask us to go and actually fight Oraxia herself. So activate your incarnate form. If you're using that, here's her little spiders. You can kill them, get some stuff from them. Activate some abilities or whatever. You know, blasting silence is what I'm using. So we drop down in here, and here she is. This is Oraxia. Dominus does not like her. He's scared of spiders. His parents threw them at him whenever he was a kid, like mine did. That's why I don't like spiders, but you just go ahead, DPS her down. Because we're playing in the normal mode, it's pretty easy. You don't want to run into these spiders that are hanging from the ceiling because they will just blow up and deal damage to you. And of course, avoid the ones that are on the floor as well. We don't like spiders invading our personal space, you know what I mean? So you shoot them on sight because we hit spiders. Then once they're all dead, we'll be able to damage Oraxia again. There we go. That's the second phase done. Same thing. Shoot the spiders. Do your thing. Whenever it comes to mods and your weapons and stuff, just throw on like Serration, elemental damage like corrosive and heat. You're going to be getting the decrees in here anyway, so they're going to help buff up your damage. So quite an easy farm, especially if you're new to Warframe, at least in my opinion. So I'm going to kill those little spiders. Oraxia's going to spawn in again. Let's go ahead, shoot her. And there you go. That is the Oraxia fight done and dusted. But that's not the final boss fight. We're actually moving on to another boss fight here, and this is just the fragmented tide from the Sanctum again. So we're heading up to this little area here. There's a portal that we go through. There's the portal we go on through. Actually, no, I think I'm lying to you. I think we have to do an Undercroft, and then we do the boss fight. Yeah, so we're doing an Undercroft, so I got survival, unfortunately, so I'm basically going to stand around here for 5 minutes until this is done. I have successfully served my 5 minutes in the Warframe Undercroft survival. So now we are moving on to the final encounter of the Isleweaver game mode, the Tide boss from the Sanctum. Now we go to a big portal. Man, can't believe I got this part and the other part mixed up. I totally forgot there was another like little Undercroft section. You'd think that I would know that by now, with the amount that I've done this. But anyway, big portal. Jump into big portal. Nice, pretty arena where it's the Viri merged with the Sanctum. It's really quite cool. Come to this middle thing, activate it, jump around the area, do a little bit of exploration if your heart desires. Pop all your abilities to keep yourself alive. Kill some of the bad guys, like so. Aim weapon at enemies. Hold left click or press left click. Turn on your incarnate form if you want to. Maybe use a little bit of melee influence if you would like as well. But just make the bad guy's health bar at a 0. The boss is now spawning in. As you can see, there he is. He looks kind of funky. Now DPS the boss like you would in Destiny. Except we have no Well of Radiance here. Now he's going into his next phase, where he spawns in his twin. Where is he? Wait for it. She does a creepy laugh. There you go. There's 2. DPS, DPS, DPS. Big health bar now. Kill the ads. Do all your stuff. Make sure your abilities are up. Look at the damage numbers. Holy red crits. Am I right, guys? Wow. I must be doing a lot of damage because I'm red critting, right? But this is why you don't want to do this in Steel Path, because if you do it in Steel Path, those bosses, they've got damage attenuation, so they take unnecessarily long to kill. Got 2 temporal dust there. It's a resource. You can see that we got the Spinnerex blueprint, 19 Scuttler husks, and 10 Pathless clamps. So this is also pretty good to do if what's it called? You don't have all the Pathless clamps you need to get incarnate weapons. So if you're coming back to the game, this is also worth doing as well, because incarnate weapons are, of course, some of the best weapons in Warframe right now. I was using one in that footage that you just seen, and you know, they kill enemies quite quickly. So now we didn't get an Oraxia part, but that's okay, because we got this resource here called Scuttler Husk, right? Now if we go to our navigation, then we go to the Zariman. So to do this part, you have to have the Angels of the Zariman quest completed. You then want to go to the Dorma Zone, like so. We wait for this to load us in. Then you want to run all the way around here into this room. And if you're watching this whenever the video goes up, there's this little guy here. This is Dominus Frax. I believe he's only going to be here for the event. So if you're watching this after the event, you come into this room and you talk to this NPC instead, and you press exchange Scuttler husks, right? So you can see Oraxia blueprint right there. You can see temporal dust is needed, Necrocoil, Agrostone, Morphix, temporal dust, Entrati Obols, Kovnik neural sensors, then temporal dust, Entrati Obols, Tasuma extract, and argon crystal. So it's stuff from the Isleweaver game mode, it's stuff from the Sanctum, it's stuff from the Viri, and then 1 star chart resource, and that's all you need to put together Oraxia, as well as those Scuttler husks to actually get the blueprints if you unfortunately don't get them from the Isleweaver game mode itself. So it's a pity system with the resources. You then also have the new secondary weapon, the Cyotid. This is really good for gripping, so I recommend farming for that as well. The Spinnerex, if you want it, you can get it. It's not necessary. And then the Phallus, if you want it, you can get it, but also definitely not necessary. Now, the other thing is, again, if you're watching this as the event is live, you come to Dominus Frax, make sure to spend the Dominus resources. So you see the Dominus auras, make sure to go ahead and spend those here to get some of the stuff. So let's say you want the Signa, go ahead, get that. Let's say you want the Bastmu, get that. You want some of these Arcanes, make sure to get those. You can see all the Arcanes on screen now, so you can pick any of these up. Energize, that's a big one. But make sure to come in here and actually spend those tokens and get all of this stuff. As you keep on spending those tokens, we're going to unlock this Signa and this Signa whenever we eventually make enough progress as a community, you know? And if you have leftover of those resources, you can even use them to pick up more Pathos clumps as well. So you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and do that, because I don't believe I need any of the Arcanes down here. But yeah, guys, that's it. That's how you farm Oraxia. Keep on playing the game mode. If you don't get all the parts, come talk to Dominus or the guy that's in here. Then just buy with the Scuttler Husk that you get. And that's it. If you liked the video, hit like. If you want to see more Warframe content from me, hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.